So I just realized in the morning that I started with the wrong ascendant series with Mars. Should be Aquarius ascendant. So, of course, I kind of like aligned myself with Mercury retrograde and made a mistake. And so that's great. Okay. So, yes, Mars in the ascendant in Aquarius for Aquarius ascendant folks, where Mars will rule the 10th house and the third house. Okay. So, obviously, this is a placement of a person who is eccentric. Eccentric, as in, as we use the word in Hindi called sunky. A little bit eccentric, a little bit sunky, extremely angry, extremely authoritative. Loves to have control over everything. Like they want to have eyes everywhere. Like they will install security cameras everywhere. They will have hidden cameras everywhere, whether in their home, whether outside. One, and especially the thing is for both male and female, Mars will represent, especially for male younger brother, for a female younger brother, and their husband. And you will see, all of them also will be very eccentric. Well, such people, because see, Mars is in the ascendant, okay, which is the individual themselves. So it is part of you, and it represents other people around you. That represents Mars, including it can even represent your dog. Why? Because dog is a best friend. So best friend, dog will represent this personality in your life. Because see, a dog is a best friend. Mars is a best friend. So, like I said, such people loves researching onto things, natural involvement in technology, science, innovation, research. Like even if let's say you have a dog, that dog will be very innovative. They will be able to figure things out that you're like, oh my God, how did you figure this out? Oh my God, how did you get this food that I put right there? You know, some dogs are like that. You'll see those videos on TikTok. Like dog gets a chair, pushes the chair with their head, brings it to the counter, and then jumps on the thing, eats the food, gets back down. That's innovation. And one thing, especially in a female's chart, you will see that either the female will have a great relationship with their brother or great relationship with the husband. It's never both at the same time. It's never both great at the same time. Now you must be saying, no, I have an excellent relationship with my brother. Well, most likely there's other scenarios happening. Like younger brother is living in foreign lands, that they're not near you. Same thing. Younger brother, is in the homeland while you left to a foreign place. You're in a different state. You guys barely see each other. You don't have time to talk. You only meet around Diwali, Christmas, Holi, Dashara, or whatever the occasions is. So it has separated. There's no like living nearby and then the younger brother is coming and going and then you are coming to the home. No. So when we say you will not have a good relationship both at the same time, that relationship doesn't have to be animosity. It can also represent it by distance. Like especially if let's say you and your best friend live in a different country. Now, they left for Europe, you're in US. Relationship is going to suffer. You can't just call them and hey, let's go to lunch. Maybe once every other year or every year you will plan to some trip to Europe to meet them, or if they come back to the States to meet the family, then you guys will hang out. But it does strain the relationship. So those things takes place. And the thing is with Aquarius Mars is willing to shred everything to help someone. They're there to really wanting to protect and help someone, help a group of people. They're able to do that. However, when it comes time to turning their back on someone, turning their back on that group, they will turn in such a way that it's going to leave, scratches and marks. because you don't want to double cross this Mars. And especially if this Mars is retrograde in the ascendant in Aquarius, you bet they're coming after you. That's a very dangerous strong Mars in Aquarius in the ascendant retrograde. Okay, because especially Mars is rising, right? And especially this is like the sunset time. Most likely it'll be either sunset time or sun could be in the sixth house or eighth house, because Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will only go retrograde when they are directly coming across the sun. So if Mars is rising, you can see the red planet rising from the horizon, and it's retrograde. Boy, that is very strong. Because the rays of that retrograde planet was upon your body when you were born. So here a person will have a hard time controlling their anger, controlling their ferociousness. Okay. The other thing with the Aquarius Mars, such a person will either be cheated or defrauded by their siblings, or siblings themselves would have been cheated in their life somehow by somebody, defrauded, related to money. And one of the things, this is the type of person, their life transforms the moment they start working. This Aquarius ascendant person, they should just go and get a job or start working. Work itself will transform this individual's life. It is their own effort that changes this person's life. Many a time, certain events have to take place in our life, right, in order for us to see that big transformation. Like, especially the strongest one being Cancer ascendant, Capricorn ascendant, Libra ascendant, where 3 events will change their life: marriage, birth of children, purchasing of property. Here with Aquarius ascendant, their transformation simply says, you can bring your own transformation. Otherwise, especially the work that you're doing, as long as you're working, you are going to go through transformation and change in your life. And especially such a person with Mars in the ascendant, their motivation definitely becomes athleticism. Athleticism, sports will always kind of encourage them to show their valor, show their, strength. They feel like I'm strong when they go into some sport and actually win some sport. Winning becomes very important for this person. It's not like they have to be a professional athlete, but the motivation is that look at my physical skills. Now, of course, can you find somebody with Mars in the ascendant being, let's say, disabled? Okay, could be a quadriplegic, of course, because then other planets have to be involved. There's other axis in life that is taking place where, a person's not able to do this. But I'm just talking about on a normal basis. People who are normal, people who are trying to, just have a regular life. In that case, this Mars works. And then, of course, like I said, retrograde Mars is 10x this situation. Like, for example, retrograde Mars is in Aquarius in the ascendant, and they're a scientist. They will throw everything aside until they figure out that thing that they're looking for. They will not care if the family's here, not here, if this is here, not here. I have to go to a birthday, I have to go to this, I have to go to that. For them, that discovery, that unearthing that discovery, now is that mission, because it becomes a tick for them. It becomes a tick for them. Usually such people have very strong revolving of bosses and management teams in their work. And it'll be sudden. Like whatever manager and especially higher up bosses that you always worked with that impacted you the most, they suddenly leave. They don't even sometimes show up to the work. Like, what happened to this person? They left? Or they were fired? They quit? And especially any relationship with the boss's authority at one point, no matter how close it is, will always sour. So if they don't leave, it's going to sour. And if it doesn't sour, they leave or you leave. And that's how it takes place. But that's only happens more so in, like I said, retrograde Mars in Aquarius, in the ascendant. Okay. This is also extremely problematic also in terms of marriage. Because here there's going to be a rebellious nature with the spouse. That you will only attract a spouse who's going to activate your rebellion. That's the thing. You only attract a person in the initial stages where certain decision they make, you rebel against it. And they're going to make those certain decisions that you're going to rebel against it. And you're going to rebel hard. Especially if it's Mars is retrograde. So it's not going to be an easy thing. The only balancing factor would be if Jupiter is looking at Mars in the ascendant or is with Mars. It balances it out to a certain extent where it can be tolerable to deal with those type of rebellion arguments with the significant other. Otherwise, it's going to be, it becomes problematic, especially for Aquarius. Okay. So anyway, guys, for the mistake I made, we're back on Aquarius ascendant track. Again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. If you want to know everything about your Mars, where it's placed, all your astrological details, you can go to chaosastrology.com under shop section. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.